So today I'm going to be filming my my Reading Rush TBR. I don't know why I can't remember that it's called the Reading Rush, even though it's been called that for like the past 2 years. It's fine. So if you did not know, the Reading Rush is a year-long... No. Okay, apparently I can't speak English anymore, so love that. But the Reading Rush is a week-long readathon that takes place every year. I think that's what I was trying to say. Who knows? But yeah, I'm going to be doing my TBR, and I participate every year. It's like my first ever video was a booktubeathon check-in or something. Let's just get into the video. I have a stack of books over there, and yeah, this is like one of my favorite times of the year. I'm really excited. Let's just get into it. So I am very efficient, and I printed out a list of the challenges. And the first one is to read a book with a cover that matches the color of your birthstone. Okay, so I was born in June, on June 15th, best day of the year, I know. And my birthstone is really freaking confusing, because it used to be pearl, and then it was like moonstone, and then it was alexandrite. But right now I think it's alexandrite, which is like a purpley pinkish color. And so I picked a book that has both like purpley pinkish on it, and then there's also white to like bring it back to the pearl, you know what I'm saying? And so I picked Out of the Easy by Ruta Sepetys. I literally have no idea what this book is about. I know it takes place in New Orleans, but this is the last Ruta Sepetys book that I have to read. I read The Fountains of Silence in 2019, last year, in October, and then I recently just read Salt to the Sea and Between Shades of Grey, and I cried. So yeah, this is the last book I have to read from her. It takes place in New Orleans. It's about a person. That's about all I know. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this book, because I felt like okay about The Fountains of Silence. I think I gave it 4 stars, but I loved Salt to the Sea and Between Shades of Grey, but I loved those 2 books because it is about parts of history that like I have familial connections to, I guess. But The Fountains of Silence and Out of the Easy, I literally have 0 connection to the history in this book. So yeah. When does this take place? I don't know. It takes place in the French Quarter. I don't know what year. I'm guessing like the 1950s. I actually don't know. But yeah. So this is the first book that I'm going to be reading. Next is to read a book. Oh wow, I'm really looking rough. Okay. The next challenge is to read a book that starts with the word the. And for that, I'm going with The Camelot Betrayal by Kiersten White. This is the sequel to The Guinevere Deception. It's the second book in the Camelot Rising trilogy. I read The Guinevere Deception for the booktubeathon, for the Reading Rush last year, and I have a vlog up for it. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm actually rereading The Guinevere Deception right now, so yeah, I'm hoping to finish today because I'm going to Virginia tomorrow to drop my sister off at school. But yeah, she is a thick girl. She is like 370 pages, and there's like a lot of words on every page. So yeah. This is an ARC, by the way. This book doesn't come out until November. So yeah, I am just elite. Next is to read a book inspired by a movie you've already seen. I'm gonna be real, I don't really like this challenge, because I don't watch movies first and then see the book. What? I don't watch movies first and then read the book. I read the book first and then see the movie. So the only one I could really think of is kind of weird, and that's In the Afterlight by Alexandra Bracken. Hear me out. I have seen the movie to The Darkest Minds, like twice, and I don't know why people don't like that movie. I really do. Maybe I'm just trash. But yeah, I really like that movie, and this is the 3rd book in the series, so it doesn't really count, but I don't care because I'm reading this anyway. I read The Darkest Minds for the Reading Rush in 2018, and I read Never Fade for the Reading Rush in last year in 2019. So I'm bringing it back. I'm reading book 3 this year, so yeah. I really also just wanted to read it this year because I was like, oh, it's so cool, you know, I'm reading it, like, because I read the other 2 books for the booktubeathon last year, or in the years before. So, yeah, I just needed a challenge that this would fit for, and this was the only one I could kind of fit it into. So, yeah, I'm reading it. Love that. Next is another challenge that I'm not the biggest fan of. It's to read a book read the first book you touch, and for that I'm going with Shah and the Tree of Wishes by Roshani and Chokshi. I've actually been waiting to read this book until the reading rush, because I read Shah and the Song of Death last year, so I'm basically just reading a lot of sequels this year for the reading rush. So I just basically picked a book that I wanted to read. I was like, I know I want to read this for the reading rush this year, so I just went like that, and it was the first book I touched, so yeah. Next is a challenge that got some controversy. It is to read a book completely outside of your house, and or like with the word outside in it, or like read it near a window or something. And so I have two options for this. I will read one of these, not both. So they are A Pocket Full of Rye and 450 from Paddington by Agatha Christie. Agatha Christie is my girl. She always, I always read one of her books for the reading rush. I've done it for the past 2 years. I'm doing it again this year. I don't know which of these I want to read. I guess I'll just choose spontaneously on the day of, or the day that I'm in the mood to read a mystery. But these are also very short, so I feel like if I do decide to actually venture outside, I will pick one of these. Pocket Full of Rye is significantly shorter, so I'll probably go with this one, but yeah. They're both Miss Marple mysteries. I love Agatha Christie. It's becoming a tradition where I'm going to read one of her books every single year for the reading rush, and I'm really excited about it. I don't know what either of these are about, but they're mysteries. Agatha Christie is a legend. I love her, okay? But y'all knew that. She's outsold by, like, William Shakespeare in the Bible only, so I'm not the only one that likes her, which is good. But I feel like nobody talks about her on BookTube, which is, like, a crime, because she is, like, my mystery queen. Like, if I need just a short mystery book to, like, indulge myself in, I'm going with Agatha Christie. I don't know how many books I've read by her, maybe, like, 5, I think, and I'm really excited to dive into one of these. Next is to read a book in a genre that you've always wanted to read more of. So I actually am pretty proud of myself, because I read in pretty, like, wide genre. Like, I read very widely. I don't just stick to one genre. I like fantasy, I like contemporary sometimes, I like historical fiction, I like mysteries, I like a lot of stuff. But there's one that I really want to read more of, and that is speculative fiction and also, like, adult fiction. And so I picked A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor by Hank Green. I read An Absolutely Remarkable Thing last year for the BookTubeathon. Once again, I'm reading a sequel to a book. And this is the next book. I, once again, have not read anything into this book. I actually didn't even know this was coming out this year until, like, a couple of months ago. I was just scrolling on, like, Twitter or something, and I saw someone, like, retweeted the cover reveal, and I was like, hello, this is beautiful. I really want to read this. And then I was like, I'm going to read that for the reading rush. And so I'm really excited. It is a speculative book. It's also an adult book. It's like an adult fantasy, I guess, but it's, like, not fantasy, because it takes place in our world, and it's, like, sci-fi-ish. I don't really know. But it is also huge. I didn't know. I pre-ordered this, and so it just came to my doorstep one day. It is 450 pages. No. Like, I think book 1 was, like, 100 pages shorter, and there's also so many words on every page, like, hello. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to, the day I read this, get, like, a head start on my reading, because this is gigantic. So, yeah, I'm really excited to read this, though. I really enjoyed book 1, and I'm really excited to see how the sequel works out, because if you've read the ending of book 1, you're probably in the same boat as I am. Because I don't know how there is a sequel, but, you know, I guess Hank Green is the one that figured that out, not me. Okay, and the final-ish challenge is to read a book set in a continent that is other than a continent. What am I saying? Read a book that is set in a continent that is different than the continent you live in. So if you live in North America, read a book that takes place in any of the other continents. I live in North America, so I picked 2 books because I have, like, 2 options, and one of them is one that I would reread, and one of them is one that I would read for the first time. The one that I would reread would be Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. I mentioned this in my TBR from last year, and I have been saying that I want to reread this book for like 2 years. And it's true, I really want to reread it, but I don't know if the reading rush is the time, especially since this book is like 500 pages long. But, you know, I'm gonna be hopeful. I really do want to reread this summer, so hopefully I will. Maybe the week after the reading rush, I'll just binge reread this trilogy. So yeah. But then the other book that I have, in case I don't want to read this, is Frontlines by Michael Grant. This is also gigantic. This is like 500 pages as well. But all I know is that this is about World War II, and it follows like women that were on the front lines and stuff. And yeah, so it takes place, some of it does take place in the USA, like there are some chapters that take place in Georgia, but then there's also ones that take place in like Tunisia and Portugal, so yeah. I'm really excited to read this. It's been on my TBR for like 3 years, so yeah, I'm really excited to get to this. I don't usually love like books about the war. Books are like TV or movies or anything really, where it's like it actually takes place on a war front and we're actually in battle. But I'm excited to read this. I haven't seen anybody talk about it, so yeah. I'm gonna be reading this, maybe, if I don't want to read Crazy Rich Asians. Okay, and then the, like, kind of added on challenge is read 7 books, and this is a series that I mentioned in my 2018 and 2019 Reading Rush TBRs, and they are My Lady Jane and My Plain Jane by Cynthia, Brodi, Ashton, and Jodi Meadows. I so want to read these books, and I really hope I can get to them this year. Maybe if I'm just, like, on fire with my reading, I will be able to get to these, but I don't know. I really want to read them, and the 3rd book just came out, so I'm behind, and I've been wanting to read the series for, like, since 2018. Or no, I think I got My Lady Jane in 2017, so, yikes. But yeah, I really want to read these. I really hope I can get to them this year, but we shall see. So, yeah. But that is it for my TBR. I'm sorry this video was kind of bad. I actually feel really bad that this video is not the best, but you're gonna get 7 videos next week, so you're fine. I will be vlogging, and it'll be really fun. I know I've been kind of, like, annoying in this video and, like, negative, but I'm actually really excited for the reading rush. Like, it's one of my favorite times of the year. I love how we can all just, like, come together to read for an entire week, and it's so fun. It's, like, really, it's truly, like, one of my favorite times of the year. So, yeah, I can't wait to daily vlog. Hopefully it'll make this quarantine more interesting, because, yikes. My vlogs will probably be really boring, because I'm not going to be going anywhere, because we're in quarantine, but, I don't know. I'm interested to see some people's vlogs. I'm really excited to do the Bookstagram challenges, because I had a whole lot of fun doing them last year. I'm excited to do the video challenges, and just all that stuff. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Check the description, because there's a bunch of stuff in there. There's info for the Reading Rush, and a lot of stuff for the Black Lives Matter movement, and a lot of stuff like that. So check it out. There's a lot of information down there. So, yeah. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if you didn't. But that is it. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my vlogs. Bye!